Good morning, folks, and welcome to this episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. My goodness, it's 32 degrees this morning, high today of 54. I know in some parts of the country you're thinking, that's frigid, that's cold. No, here it's warming up pretty nicely. And what that says is I got to get some stuff ready for, get my boating and stuff ready for the spring and get in the water and have some fun. My good folks at Empire Covers, you guys have seen me install this cover here. My good folks at Empire Covers has provided me with a bimini top for this barn find. I've had 2 videos on this boat so far. Check those out. See if I can leave a link in there. Check out what I found. This was a $500 boat, and I'm going to fix it up this spring, and we're going to get it in the water, and we're going to have some fun with it. It's a 22.5-foot Starcraft with a little cuddy cabin. But as you can see here, I've got me a beautiful example of a cover. This is from Empire Covers as well. I've had it on here all winter. This thing was piled up, had snow all over the top of it, and it has kept my boat clean and dry inside as a result of having an awesome cover. And as you can see here, there's also some braces in here. We'll cover that a little bit later in the video of what those are and how you can obtain those from me. It's a design I've come up with, and I've given a few away in a giveaway. And I want you guys to have an opportunity to purchase some from me if you want to. I don't care if you do or don't, no matter to me. But if you want to keep your cover supported like this and keep it dry and not have to bail it out every time it rains or it gets a little bit of inclement weather, you're going to want to put some of these on there. But today we're going to cover, first and foremost in this video, is this brand new bimini top that they've sent me. Like I said, I've got 2 other boat covers. I've got this boat cover here, so I got 3 boat covers in total covering my big boats. And then there's cars going by all the time here. I apologize for that ahead of time, folks. And I've also got a couple of bimini tops. And this one here is gonna probably be my favorite. So let's get to busy. I'm gonna uncover this boat, we're gonna expose it, and we're gonna get this bimini top installed so you guys can see how easy it is to install. Now this particular bimini top here is a 600 denier rated protection, 3-year warranty, rear poles included, and it also has, this is a 4 bow, 67 to 79 inch wide, height of 52 inches, length of 95 inches long. So this thing should cover my entire opening. Everybody knows out there, if you're out there in the hottest day of the summer, yes, you could jump in the water and cool off, that's great and all, but you like to also sit in the shade while you're out in the water. With this bimini top, I tell you, I wouldn't have a boat without it anymore because it's just handy to have that protection. I've been caught in rainstorms, and it's nice to throw that thing up as well in the rainstorm and keep the direct blast of the rain from coming down on you. There's lots of benefits to having a bimini, and you can also fold it down and have it out of your way when you don't need it. So without further ado, I'm going to get this thing uncovered here, and we're going to unbox it. I'm going to show you the stuff inside, and we're going to show you what it takes to put it on. And these things are relatively simple to install, so I encourage you, don't be afraid to do it yourself. We're going to cover it step by step here, and hopefully you have the same amazing results I'm going to end up with. Let's jump in and get this cover taken off. Here's how your bimini kit will arrive. I want to show you on the cover here up close, folks, the different colors. Now I got this one in blue, but they got hunter green, teal, blue, red, burgundy, tan, white, gray. Lots of amazing colors to choose from, and they're bright and vivid, and they look gorgeous on your boat. It looks like a lot of great looking hardware here, all stainless steel it would appear. And my work instruction has a little tear in it, but we'll be okay with that. But shows you all the pieces that you should have, and shows you how to lay the canopy upside down with the zippers facing up, zipper sleeves facing up, and let's put this thing together. I'm excited to get this on the boat. This is going to be amazing. Looks like they got a couple different ways to mount it depending on how your boat is set up. Looks like there's a, let's see if I can get you guys in this picture here. Looks like there's a side mount set up, and there's a deck mount set up. And actually I got the, depending on how this thing lays out widthwise, I might go side versus deck. We'll see. Let's get started. All right, a couple things I want to point out here is that the cover is marked front up here, which is nice. And when you're putting this together, your two short bows will be toward the middle facing each other. And then on the back side here, this would be at the back of the boat. So that gives you kind of some idea of the orientation of how it should lay. Now I'm going to collapse it back together. And I'm gonna go set it on the boat because I want to position this on the boat before I drill any holes, because I know where I want it to lay when it's collapsed. There it is, guys, fully installed. Man, this thing is absolutely spectacular. I love it. This is going to be so much fun on the water. You can find a shady spot on the boat. Plus, I got to do a little work on this motor outside. And I can put this thing up and I can work in the shade. So that's not a bad deal either. Man, I really love the hardware they put with this thing. It's all really good quality hardware. These brackets are they're plastic, but they're very substantial. You can tell they're made out of good quality stuff. And all the screws and hardware is stainless steel from what I see. Stainless steel, plastic, and aluminum. None of this is going to rust or deteriorate over time. Now I'm going to tell you, there's no right or wrong way. Well, there probably is a wrong way to install this, but you know, position on your boat, it's personal preference there. So as you can see here, you know, basically this point right here becomes the center line of your top. So that's kind of a gauge or reference for you. This is like a 96-inch long, let's see, 95-inch long top. I measured like 47 inches, but I did two different things too. It's sticking my way. When I have this laying down, I wanted to lay in a certain position back here. Yeah, so I wanted this thing to lay down. When I collapse it, because it can collapse and rest on just these poles, and you can have it that way if you want. You can have it laying down against that. You know, if you're just want to have it back for the day, up and out of the way, off the bottom, and then it's ready to deploy at any second, just unzip and go. This actually has the storage pocket for wrapping it around and storing it built into it, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I mean, you don't have to worry about carrying around an extra cover or anything. That's another beautiful thing about this. It has a built-in cover to cover your cover. Does that make sense? Anyway, so I went and planted these two first, and you want to make sure that you're measuring from like I picked this point here and came back, and I made sure I measured the same way on the other side to keep things square and consistent, as square as the boat is. Same way here. This I've eyeballed this to where I'm like, yeah, I want it to sit about like that. And I put my two screws in here. Then I measured from this point here to this point here and put my two screws in there. Now, I was kind of concerned about how well it would hold with the two screws in the aluminum, but I've done it on my other boat, and it's lasted 3 years, no problem. And I've been caught in some winds. I've been driving it at 31 miles an hour on the lake, and this thing just is solid as a rock, so you don't have to worry about that. But then once I got this one in the position that I wanted, I put one screw in it, backed this off right here so I could get to this screw easily, put that screw in, reattached it. Good to go. Then once I came up front here, I did the same thing. I'm like, oh, what angle do I want this at? And these are your quick clips here, so you can unsnap these on both sides and plop, plop, plop. You can just take that and flop it on back. And I'll do that here in a bit. But I measured up, I got where I wanted on this, and these are adjustable on length here. I've got it underneath a decent amount of tension because I want this thing to be like solid. It's putting a little tension on here, but that's okay. That makes it more rigid. But it still has flexibility, obviously. And then I went to the other side and did the exact same thing, used the screws. Like I used all the hardware that came with it. All I used was my impact drill to help me install the screws. Do not over tighten your screws and do not strip them out. Now the kit did come with a screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, which is nice. All you'd have to do is drill a little pilot hole and use your little screwdriver if you want. That came with it. But very easy to install. Looks absolutely fantastic. The other thing I do like about this this cover over the covers I've had in the past is this can completely unzip and come off. You don't have to take these poles apart to slide it off. You can actually unzip the whole thing and take it off. If you had to wash it, clean it, or replace it, it's completely a zipper setup. So you could buy a spare bimini for this thing if you wanted to, especially if you're going to keep the boat for years like I do. I keep my boats for years because once I fall in love with an old boat, I have a hard time getting rid of it. And that's that. But we're going to get you some more footage here. I'm going to walk you around a little closer now. Let's take a little closer look at how simple this is. Now this boat's a little different than other boats because it has this thing around it, but you know, I could have got a little bit wider bimini and I could have mounted it down in this area, but I measured it out, so I wanted it to mount up here, which is cool. But I like how this turned out so far. Now if I would have mounted it out here, I could have taken advantage of my snaps, but I don't even have a cover for this thing that snaps on, so it wasn't a big deal. As you can see back here, same thing, 2 screws. Now you can take this loose. The beauty of it is I can take this loose, take this pole flat, lay the whole thing down flat, so it'll lay right back here. So that's probably what I do when I have it out on the highway and whatnot. But as you can see on the other side, same kind of thing. Everything looks good, looks parallel. Now the other thing, you can tell this boat, I'm gonna back away from here and kind of give you use my finger to point you what I was eyeballing while I did this. Because right now it's hard to tell, but the boat is sitting up at an angle. The front of the boat is up right now. It's not sitting flat like it would sit in the water. And so the only thing I had to go by is, you know, you got this line right here on the boat. That's your flat line. Basically when it's sitting in the water flat, that stripe there is pretty much parallel. So what I want to do is kind of keep that top parallel to that line and not to the piece. As you can see, this part of the boat rises up. I didn't want to make the top parallel to that. So that's something to keep in mind while you're fastening this down, because this, once you fasten this back down, you'd have to move it. You'd have to take the screws out, put new holes in it. Now you've got holes in your boat you didn't want. But that's it right there. Isn't that pretty amazing? I love how that turned out. Easy to put together. As you saw earlier in the video, all these pieces snap together. Now other biminis I've seen in the past that I've had, up here, all these things that have to go together, you're putting screws in it to hold it together, hold the bows together. These are all those push clicks. Everything pushed together, clicked, snapped in place, and make it easy to disassemble if you ever had to without any tools. The only thing I need right now is a Phillips screwdriver. I can take this thing clear off the boat probably in a matter of 30 seconds or less. But I don't have any need to do that. Alrighty, we got that bimini on. I think I'm going to make me a bracket. Something that holds all 3 of these poles in line that'll snap in place. We'll see what I can come up with. I think I can 3D print something like that. We're going to go ahead and put the cover back on because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. And today it was up to 60 degrees and it's supposed to drop down and possibly snow again on Monday. So, you know, I had to jump in and get this done while I could. One less thing I got to do this spring whenever I get ready to work on that motor and get this thing ready to go in the water. So let's go ahead and get the cover back on. I'm going to show you how I install the cover. I'm not going to show you, you're just going to see me do it. But you're going to see these little brackets I've created on the 3D printer. Still a work in progress. I sent some winners out, a few to try. I'm waiting for some feedback, and then I'm going to start printing them, and I'll have them available for people to buy if they want to have their boat cover supported like the way I'm supporting mine. Well, folks, that's a wrap. We got her covered back up. She's good for a few more days before I need to dig back in there again. I'm going to work on my connections there. I think I can make things a little tighter on those supports and make them work better. And we can make a better cover out of it, make a better cover support. But that Bimini, you can't disagree. That Bimini looks sharp on there. That bad boy's going to be good. I like the way it went together. I like the way it looked. And I can't wait to be underneath it while this thing's sitting on top of some water. You guys get out there and have some fun. We got to get back in there in my shop and get some motors running. I got a lot of outboards to work on. About 25 plus to be exact. I got about 32 of them, but about 25 plus need worked on. So you guys get out there and have some fun. Man, it's a busy highway today. Get out there and have some fun. Don't be afraid to tackle something new. This is Michael saying check out all my links below. That'll take you to the items I used in this video. That kind of rhymed, didn't mean to. And I'll see you on the next video. You guys get out there and have some fun. This is Michael, and I'm out.
Thank you.